Hey everyone, we're going to go ahead and start Student Notes 10.4, which starts volume of prisms and cylinders. Okay, first off we're going to start talking about what is volume. Volume is the three-dimensional space that a figure occupies. So it's everything basically on the inside or something that fills up a three-dimensional figure. It is measured in cubic units. So it's no longer squared units like area, but it's to the third power or cubic units for volume, such as cubic inches. That's just an example. So you would do inches to the third power. Okay? So when we're talking about prisms and cylinders, they actually have the same formula. The basic formula for prisms and cylinders is volume is equal to big B times H. And we know that big B stands for the area of the base, and the H stands for the height of the figure. Okay? So this first shape here we have in the bottom left is a cube or a rectangular prism of some sort. Okay, so here's it's pointing, the big B is pointing to the area of the base, which could be either a square or rectangle, and the H shows the height. Okay, in this case, since this is a rectangle, obviously the area of the base would be length times width. So another formula that you can use besides V equals big B times H, another formula that you could use just for prisms, rectangular prisms, or cubes is length times width times height. You can use this only for rectangular prisms. Okay? Because obviously the big B would be length times width times the height of the prism. Okay, our next picture here is of a cylinder. And again, it's laying on its side, so the height is going horizontally, and the big B is pointing to the base here, which is the shape of a circle. So obviously, to find the area of a circle would be the formula pi r squared. So really, the volume for a cylinder is pi r squared times h, because big B is the shape of a circle. And this last picture is a triangular prism. It's actually an oblique triangular prism since it is leaning. It's pointing to our base. Notice our bases are shaded in each one of our pictures. So our base here is a triangle, and so in order to find area of a triangle, we would use the formula base times height divided by 2. And then take that and then multiply it times the height of your prism would give you the volume. Okay, the height of a prism or a cylinder is always, always, always has to be perpendicular it's the perpendicular distance from the base to the base. Okay, so if we look at each one of these pictures, the height connects the two bases and it's perpendicular. The height connects the two circle bases here, it's perpendicular. And the height, even though it's leaning, notice that it's perpendicular and it connects where your bases would be if it wasn't leaning. Okay, so let's actually try our problem here. Example 1, this is a rectangular prism. And we want to find the volume in square centimeters. So the first thing we're going to have to do is convert anything that's not centimeters into centimeters. So we have 5 inches here. We need to convert this into centimeters. So 5 inches, and we know that 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So 5 inches times 2.54 will give us 12.7 centimeters. Okay, so now we've done our converting. This is asking us what is the shape of the base. Well, since nothing is shaded really right now, we use what is on the bottom. So in this case, that would be a rectangle, is the shape of our base. And our formula for volume, it'll be the same throughout this entire lesson, big B times H, or remember we do have this alternate formula for a rectangular prism, length times width times height. Okay, because the area of the base would just simply be length times width, which is 24 times 20. And 24 times 20 is 480 centimeters squared. Okay, so now we have the big B, and we just take that and multiply it times the height, which would just be our height of our prism is 12.7. So 480 times 12.7 is 6,096. And remember, we want cubic units, so centimeters, oops, centimeters cubed. So 6,096 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. Now, you could have just taken 24 times 20 times 12.7 all in one step, and you would have gotten the same answer in your calculator, length, width, height. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2. So in number 2, this is a triangular prism, so we cannot use length times width times height because it's not a rectangular prism. Okay, the bases are the triangles. What is the approximate volume of the triangular prism? So since we're looking for volume, again, we're using big B times H. And since our shape of the base is a triangle, we need to find area of a triangle for our big B, which is base times height divided by 2. So we need the base and the height of our triangle. So let's just look at this top base up here, since it's the one that's labeled. The base and the height of this guy will be what makes the right angle here. So we have base, height, and hypotenuse. Well, since we don't know our base, we need to use Pythagorean Theorem to figure that out. We need to know what that is right there, that little guy. It is a triple, if you remember what 24 and 25 is as a triple. If you can't, you just need to use Pythagorean Theorem. So a squared plus b squared we're going to use as 24, and c squared is 25 squared. So we have a squared, and then 24 squared is 576, and 25 squared is 625. And then when we subtract 576 from both sides, a squared is going to equal to 49. 625 minus 576 is 49. Take the square root of both sides, so a is 7. So our base and our height of our triangle here, let's just say we were kind of looking at it like this. 7 would be our base, 24 would be our height, and 25 would be our diagonal. So let's just go ahead and plug that back into our formula to find area of that base, or area of the triangle. The base of the triangle is 7, the height of the triangle is 24, and then cut that in half or divide by 2. So 7 times 24 is 168, divided by 2 is 84. So the area of our base is 84. Big B is 84. Okay, well, we have to continue on with our formula, big B times H. So big B is 84 times H. Remember, H is your height of the prism, not the height of the triangle that we just found. The height of the triangle we just found is 24. That's not the height of the prism. The height of our prism, remember, connects the base to the base. So this is our height, which is 11. So 84 times 11 is 924. So the volume of, I hope I did this right. The volume of our triangular prism is 924 feet cubed. Okay, we're going to continue with the back side of our notes. We're going to go ahead and save example number 3 for class. So let's go ahead and move on to example number 4, which is the first cylinder that we have seen. This cylinder asks us to find the volume of the cylinder and express it in terms of pi. Okay, well, the shape of every base of every cylinder is a circle. Okay, and the formula for the volume of a cylinder is the same one as a prism, which is big B times H. But in this case, our big B is a circle, so we need to find area of a circle. Well, to find area of a circle, it's pi r squared. So we have pi times our radius, which we are given as 3 squared. And we know that 3 squared is 9, so the area of our circle is 9 pi, because we want to leave it in terms of pi. Don't put the pi in your calculator. Okay, so let's continue on with our formula. Volume is equal to big B, which we know is 9 pi, times H, which is the height of our cylinder, in this case is 8. Again, don't put the pi in your calculator. You're just going to multiply the 9 times the 8, and you get 72 pi. So that one was super easy. So the volume of this cylinder is 72 pi centimeters cubed. Okay, we're going to save example number 5, which is also a cylinder, for class. And we're going to go ahead and finish up example 6 right now. Example 6 is also a cylinder, but it appears that it has some water in this cylinder. The surface of the water is 2.5 inches from the top of the cylindrical tank. So this is the water, and it doesn't fill up the tank. So the distance from the water to the top of the tank is 2.5. Okay, so let's label that. Okay, we know that the entire distance from the bottom of the tank to the top of the tank is 12 inches. So we can actually find the height of the water by just subtracting the height of the tank minus the height that the water is from the top. So 12 minus 2.5 would give us the height of the water as 9.5, and these are inches. Okay, so to the nearest tenth, so we're going to be rounding here, how many gallons of water are in the tank? Okay, notice that right now we have inches. And then it's going to give us a conversion that says that 1 cubic inch is going to equal 0.004329 gallons. So the first thing we need to do is just simply find the volume of the water in inches, cubic inches, and then we can worry about converting to gallons later. So as with all cylinders, the shape of our base is a circle. And our formula remains the same. Volume is equal to big B times H. Okay, again, since our base is a circle, to find the area of our base, we would need to do pi r squared, just like in problem number 4. Okay, so pi times radius squared. Well, our radius is half of our diameter. Well, our diameter is 9, so our radius would be 4.5. So we need to figure out what 4.5 squared is. 4.5 squared is 20.25. So 20.25 pi is our area of the base. Now I'm not going to round it yet. I'm only going to round when I get to the very end. So let's just keep it in terms of pi for now. Okay, so I have the area of the base, so I need to continue on to actually find the volume. So we have big B, which is 20.25 pi, times the height of our cylinder. Okay, but we're not looking for the cylinder, we're just looking for the volume of our water. So the height of our water is just 9.5. So in my calculator, I need to figure out what 20.25 times 9.5 is. Do not put the pi in your calculator yet. So 20.25 times 9.5 gives me 192.375. And then pi. Don't forget your pi at the end. Okay, so this is our volume. So 192.375 pi inches cubed. Okay, but now we need to convert it into gallons. This is where we use our conversion up here. So if we know that 1 cubic inch is 0.004329 gallons, then how many gallons is 129.375 pi cubic inches? So what we're going to do, this is where we're actually going to put our pi in our calculator. We're going to take our volume, 192.375 pi, and we're going to multiply it times the amount of gallons that are in 1 cubic inch, which is 0.004329. And this will give us about how many gallons we will need of water. So it says to the nearest tenth. So that's 1 decimal place. So 2.6, and we have to look at the decimal after the 6. It's a 1, which doesn't round the 6 up. So the number of gallons that are here in this tank is 2.6 gallons. Okay, and we will go ahead and finish this up in class tomorrow. See you guys then.